friends, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And what I have for you today is another community challenge put forth by Tim over at Tim Talks Talkies. And what he challenged us to do was to pick our top 25 films from the 1970s. And that was my childhood, so picking these films was no problem. The problem came in, we have to rank them from 1 to 25 or 25 to 1, however they're going to add them up. And that is not my strong point. So I did the best that I could. If it were up to me, they'd all be number 1 because they're all fantastic. And I'm not good at ranking, so go easy on me. And since I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, I'm not going to try and keep track of the number. I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to start with number 25. I'll put the number up in the corner up here so you know what I'm on. And at 25, this one, I'm blaming my dad for this one because I can't tell you how many times I saw this growing up. And even to this day, if I go to their house, there's a good chance one of this man's films will be on. It's Clint Eastwood and the Outlaw Josie Wales. I have seen this over and over and over again. And I have to admit, I still love it. So it's a good one, and it reminds me of my childhood and my dad and all the good stuff. So that one is on my list. And the next one, this is a fantastic film. It's long, it's a little, you have to be patient with it, but it's so worth the payoff is so worth it. And it is Robert De Niro, John Cazale, John Savage, Meryl Streep, and Christopher Walken in The Deer Hunter. This is a very, very hard-hitting, impactful film. If you haven't seen it, definitely take the time and give it a look because it's well worth it. And this next one, again, I'm going to blame my dad because if he could have had the same car as Burt Reynolds in this one, he would have had it. That's how obsessed he was with it. And I've seen it, again, so many times I've lost count. Burt Reynolds in Smokey and the Bandit had to be on my list because it was all over our television set all the time. If Gunsmoke wasn't on, something like this was on. And the next one, this one is a film that I absolutely love. And my suggestion to anyone who hasn't seen it, or even if you have seen it and you feel like maybe you missed something, watch it with the subtitles on because the sound mixing is a little sketchy on the Blu-ray. It becomes a whole different story, and it is amazing. It's Gene Hackman in The Conversation. Absolutely love this one. So, so good. And this one is from one of my favorite directors, Sidney Lumet. It kills me to have it this low on the list, but there's just so many great movies. But it kills me to have this one down here because I love it so much. But it is Network. And this is just such a good movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely give it a look. It is well worth it. It stars Faye Dunaway, William Holden, Peter Finch, and Robert Duvall. And it's a powerhouse of a movie, Network. And my next one, this is one that I have seen more times than I can count. American Graffiti. I haven't watched the 4K yet. I heard it's not that great, but I'm just fine with the Blu-ray. And this next one I talked about in the sports movies that I did. No, it was movies that need an upgrade, and you guys picked this one, but I love it too. It's from 1976. It's The Bad News Bears with Walter Matthau. So, so good. I've seen this so many times. And this is one that I actually saw in theaters, and it was just an overwhelming experience because I was just a kid, and it was amazing to see this on the big screen. It's Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So, so good. And I just remember being in awe watching this in a movie theater. So good. And this is one that I saw Tony over at Basement Blues picked up, and this is one that I've seen all these films so many times. I'm going to get sick of hearing myself say it, but this is a great movie about a family that's breaking up. Divorce is happening between the parents, but it's a very unconventional twist on the divorce story. So like Tony said, I would really suggest giving this one a look. It's going to hit you in all the feels, but it's a really good movie. It stars Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep in Kramer versus Kramer. So, so good. And this one, I think I know every word to every song because you couldn't escape this movie, and it's really pretty good. I'm not a musicals person, but I really, really do like this one. And it is John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John in Grease. I mean, who doesn't love Grease? You have to love Grease. Even if you're not a musicals person, you're going to love Grease. So, had to make my list. And this next one is just so much fun. I remember watching this constantly when it was on cable. The Jerk. So much fun. Steve Martin is fantastic in this. This is one of his best, I think. I love this movie so much. So good. And I love these slipcovers, these 70s best of the decade. It gives you all kinds of facts about what was going on during the decade. It's really pretty cool. And this one, the scene at the table is forever burned in my brain, and it is the original Alien. This one scared the daylights out of me when I saw it, and I don't know, I still love it to this day. I love all the Alien movies, but this one in particular, I'll just never forget that scene. That every time someone mentions this movie, that is the first scene that comes to mind. So Alien, had to make my list. This next one is Robert De Niro and a very young Jodie Foster in Taxi Driver. So, so good. Such a great movie. And he was wild in this one. He was just out of his mind, but so good. And this needs a standalone 4K. So Columbia, come on, cut it loose from the set and give us a standalone 4K. And this next one creeps me out so much. It always has, it always will. I don't know what it is. I think it's the mother, but it's the original Carrie. This freaks me out. That mother, I don't know. Piper Laurie was so effective in her role as the mother. She just freaked me out. I don't know. She just, something about her. I mean, she was crazy. She was weird. But I mean, there's a lot of movies with crazy, weird parents. But she got under my skin. Boy, oh boy, did it was it effective. And to this day, if I watch this movie, Piper Laurie she just makes my skin crawl. But Carrie, such a good one. And this one, I've talked about this a few times recently. I was so excited that it got a release from Imprint. It's Dustin Hoffman in Lenny, the biopic about Lenny Bruce. This is another one you have to see it. If you have not seen this one, please, please put it on your list and get your hands on it and see it. So we're going to finish up with our last stack here. And I'm going to cheat a little bit in this last stack because I'm going to do what some other people did. So if they did it, I can do it. And this first one is The Godfather 1 and 2. I lumped them together because I definitely watched them together, and they're both from the 70s, so I had to put them in there. Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I've heard this Blu-ray is out of print. I don't know. I guess it is. Maybe that means there's a 4K coming. I don't know. We can wish, we can hope, but this is a fantastic movie, and if you haven't seen it, put it on your list. Another one from Sidney Lumet. This one is one that reminds me of my grandparents because we watched it on summer vacation, and it's Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon, based on a true story. And there's also a documentary out about the guy who actually did this bank robbery, and it's called The Dog. If you have not seen The Dog, definitely check it out. He's quite a character, and he's very proud of his accomplishments, and that they, as he says, they made a movie star out of him. So definitely check out The Dog and Dog Day Afternoon. And this one, I have talked about this so many times on the channel. You're probably sick of hearing me say it, but the original Wicker Man, The Wicker Man. One of my favorite folk horror movies of all time. So good. And what list would be complete, especially as a horror fan, without The Exorcist? I mean, this scared the life out of me from the first time I saw it. If I put this in today, I am just as scared as the first time I saw it. I think everything about this, the practical effects, the acting, the atmosphere, the score, everything about this movie just works. And no list would be complete, a 70s list, without The Exorcist on it, if you're a horror fan. And this one, I saw this in the movies over and over and over, and it will never be called A New Hope to me. It is always Star Wars. And I love this movie, and man, oh man, what this started. If they knew then what they know now about what this was going to turn into, I don't know. I think they would have been amazed. But seeing this in theater was like nothing you've ever experienced. If you ever get the chance to see it in a theater, go see it. And this one, I just love this one. I love the grittiness, the griminess. If I could watch this on VHS all the time, I would. I have it on 4K, of course, but I would still prefer the grainy, gritty version, and that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I absolutely love this movie. It's such an important movie for horror. It changed the genre. It's very unique. And I just think it brings a lot to the table, and it did a lot for the horror genre to move it forward. But really, really good stuff. And I'm going to cheat again, and just got some sad news about this one. We have Rocky and Rocky 2, and right before doing this video, I just read that we lost Carl Weathers at 76 years old, Apollo Creed. So rest in peace, Carl Weathers. What a sad story that is. So, yep, we have Rocky and saying goodbye to Carl Weathers. And at number 2, this should come at no surprise, the original Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, had to be on my list. And you knew it was going to be high on the list, but number 2, did you think it was going to be number 2? Did you think it was going to be number 1? So you know what my number 1 movie is, right? It has to be. It's Jaws. Every day, all the time. Jaws, Jaws, Jaws. I remember seeing this summer, over summer vacation, again with my grandparents. We saw a lot of inappropriate movies with my grandparents. Because, like, this is only rated PG. A lot of people don't realize the rating system was different. So my grandmother saw PG, and she's like, it'll be fine. It's a shark movie. I've never gone in the ocean again. I've never gone in any water that's not a pool since I saw this movie. But this is such a great movie. The practical effects, I know the shark was screwed up and it wasn't perfect, and there's no such thing as a perfect movie. But I just think this is so good, and it's such a time capsule of this period. It screams 70s. But if you watch it today, I think it's aged very well. It still holds up, and I think everything about it works, and I could watch this over and over and over again, just like pretty much everything in these piles. So Jaws had to be my #1 pick for the top 25 movies of the 1970s. So I hope you enjoyed my list. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank Tim for putting this challenge out here. His challenges are always fun when he puts them out to the community, and I hope everybody participates. If you guys want to participate, just make a video and link Tim in the description. I'll link him down in the description. You can go check him out, and I'm sure he's going to do a movie at the end of the video at the end of the month to give the scores to everything and let you know what movies ranked where. And so that's it. Those are my picks for the 1970s. I want to thank you guys for watching. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what your favorite movies of the 70s are. And, you know, hopefully we'll have some crossovers. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did and you like things like this and collection updates, hauls, movie reviews, a room tour that's coming, consider subscribing and hit the bell notification. And I'm probably going to be back Sunday with another video for you. So for now, that's a wrap.